Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. We're also streaming to you live on yorbamedia.com. All right, Nick Santiago, President, CEO in the Money Stocks with me right now. Nick, welcome back to the show.
Great to be back, Michael. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. All right, what's in the sights for you today?
Well, markets are coming in a little bit today. I wanted to discuss a few stocks. One stock I'm looking at a potential short trade is in ORCL, and I think that stock could be setting up around the 35.50 level. I think traders could get short around that area. This stock actually could sell off back down to around $30. So that's one I'm looking at right now. I think there's going to be a ton of resistance a little bit higher from here. As I said, that $35, $35.50 level for ORCL looks like a pretty good level to get short.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Do you see this as a ongoing trend with this with ORCL, or just a short-term trade for you?
Well, right now it would just be a short-term trade, but what I like to look for right now is stocks that have made highs and are now potentially putting in lower highs, and I think that ORCL is a candidate to do that. Recently, I shorted EMC not too long ago, and it was pretty much the same type of pattern. And I see this pattern working over and over right now. So I think when you see something working out pretty nicely, you kind of want to stick with it.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, because you get a double top here on this ORCL. It's somewhere around 36, and then the lower high now. So I'm just wondering if we got a change in trend on this stock here.
Sure. And plus, if you look at the weekly chart, Michael, you'll see that I believe the week of March 18th, you could see that reversal right there. And now you have all of these inside bars going into that big red candle there on if you're looking at a candlestick chart. So, I mean, just a ton of resistance in this area around $35. All
right. Sounds good. Anything more? We said EMC, right?
Well, I talked about EMC. That was a trade we already pulled off. We're out of it. But it was a similar chart pattern to this ORCL pattern, and that's why I wanted to reference it.
Well, you got a little rally going. Of course, that's a weekly. Let me back up into the daily.
Yeah, I could show you where we sold EMC. We went short on that one back in March, around March 14th, and we actually covered that trade on the 22nd of April.
So, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised by now, but did you short the top on that thing?
Yeah, I was off by about 40 cents.
Okay.
But I didn't get the dead top. But right now, if you're looking at EMC, it had a nice bullish pattern, and it's moved up. But EMC now has a ton of resistance at 24. I'm going to have to look at this one closely next couple of days. This one could be a short as well.
Okay. All right. What's this BBH? I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about BBH, and I don't bring up the biotechs all that much, but these biotechs have been on a monster move to the upside, and this is the first time I'm starting to see some high-volume selling take place. If you take a look at the BBH, this sold off yesterday, and today the BBH is down again. So I think traders here, if you're a little bit of a risk taker, should get out of your biotech holdings, and this thing can sell off down to around the $65 level. So if you want to short it, you can do that. I know a lot of traders out there are holding biotechs like Celgene and also Gilead Sciences and things like that. They're all coming down today. Amgen is another one. All of these stocks now look like they're ready to go into corrective mode.
All right, now let's make sure everybody understands what that means. Corrective mode. In other words, the bull market trend, because I just pulled a weekly up on this BBH.
Yeah.
That is one strong-looking bull market. Are you?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a monster move. I mean, look at the rally this thing has had really since the beginning of 2012. But, as we say in the market, Michael, all good things come to an end. And this is probably where this is the first sign I'm seeing that this thing wants to correct down to around 65. I'm not saying it's the end of the run. Right now we look at it again at 65 and see how it reacts, but the pullback is into 65 now.
All right, that's a darn good heads up on that. All right, what's next?
Okay, the other one we wanted to look at today was Deckers. Yeah, Deckers Outdoors. Now, this is the company that used to make those UGG boots. I don't know if they're made of sheepskin and very, very popular last few years. But look at the pattern on this daily chart. This is a breakdown pattern here. This stock should immediately get down to around the $50.50 level. And after that, the stock has downside to probably, I'm going to say $41. So watch for a little reaction around $50, 50.50. And then from that point on, it makes a bearish pattern again. It's probably going to sell off hard and fill that big gap all the way from the end of March at around $40, $41.
Okay, so are you not ruling out that low somewhere around 30 that we had back there last year in November?
Oh, I mean, that's always a possibility, but you're going to hit very good support around that $40 level.
Okay.
So, I mean, I like to give conservative targets, ones that we can achieve in not that long of a time span, and I think this one's real achievable.
Okay, well, when you say, let me go back to that, not that long of a time span, what are you thinking?
Oh, a few weeks.
Okay, that's a nice trade, couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because the way you leverage it, you could, this looks like about a good 30 to 40% return on your money on that trade.
Yeah, it can be.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. U.S. dollar, you got that on the docket today.
Yeah, I got the U.S. dollar because we talked about it last week on your show, and I think we've been talking about it almost every week. And I said this dollar is going to stall out around $84. It should puncture the 84 level and then stall out. And I think we're starting to see that a little bit. Now, the thing about the dollar that everybody should know is it's strong for a couple of reasons, and one of the reasons, in my opinion, is because of the other countries in the world that are devaluing their currency, most notably Japan. But I think now the dollar needs to simmer down or at least consolidate. So if this thing can consolidate, then it has a chance to go up to the 88, maybe even $89 level. But right now, I would not be bullish on the dollar.
Okay, got that. And as a matter of fact, you called it exactly right because it did nothing but it was almost parabolic since you said, it might go up. So
yeah, well, I had calculated a move to 84, and now it's where the dollar is probably going to stall. So, if the dollar pulls back in, that could be good for some commodity stocks. That could be good for some gold, also silver, copper, things of that nature.
Okay, well, let me give credit where credit is due. You said 84, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday's close, 83.92. Not too far off.
No, not too far off, but it did get to
84.12 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, you're still in the bullseye, by the way. But now the downside target. Do you have one?
Well, if it pulls back, I think it probably goes down only to about 82. I really don't see it breaking through 82 right now. So it's going to be in some tight, quite a tight range for a little while here.
Okay. All right. Now, you're also an expert at cyclical analysis. Any time frames on this dollar for the next support zone?
I would think rather quickly it could get down to around $82. It's a little bit hard because I don't have a great setup, but I do think that maybe within the next couple of weeks you'll see 82, and that's where I'd be looking to be a potential bounce candidate or a buyer around that level.
Okay, yeah, because my numbers were giving me a cycle date, a big one on the U.S. dollar for the 13th, but nothing big until maybe Monday the 20th, and that's my next big one. I wanted to see how that felt for you. You think a little bit longer time frame?
Well, I think right now the dollar's at a big inflection point here, so I would probably say right now, I mean, the 20th is Monday. I mean, it's only 2 trading days away, so that fits pretty well with what I have as well.
Okay. All right. Now we got about 3 minutes left. We didn't really give any emphasis to energies or interest rates or the U.S. stock market straight out. Which one would you like to talk about?
Well, let's talk about energy. I always like to talk about energy, so
okay.
let's do that. We could speak about the USO. We could speak about light sweet crude. Your choice.
Okay, let's do crude, and then everybody can do USO off of that. We got about 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So when you look at light sweet crude right now, I think that it's not showing a ton of strength, but we can't rule out a little bit more upside, especially if the dollar pulls back. I think that's going to be probably the leading factor for crude. I don't see it getting much above the $97.50, $98 level. I think it's going to stall there. If it did go higher, obviously 100 would be a short, in my opinion, in crude.
Yeah, it's since May 15th, about the middle of May. That's the third lower high that we've had recently. So,
yes.
At this point, are you thinking that we've got a longer term trend intact here for lower energy prices?
It's a tough call right now because it is actually a tough call for me to make that statement. But I ultimately believe soon crude is going to plummet. So I'm thinking towards the second half of the year, we're going to see crude really go a lot lower. But, for me to give the exact date at the moment, it's a little bit tough for me to do at the moment.
No, that's not what I'm trying to get out of you. That you gave it to me. The overall background gut feeling of where your experience is telling you this market might go. That's what I wanted to know. All right.
It's going lower.
Okay.
Yeah, crude's going to go lower. We'll test 80 before you know it.
Okay. All right. Well said. Tell everybody what they get to see in your trading room and then how to get there.
Yeah, if they come over to the trading room, you'll see our charts live every day. Today we had another good gap trade this morning, Cisco Systems, right at the opening bell. We traded that on the short side for about 60 cents. That's just a real good scalp. I post gap trades up every morning before the market even opens. So traders initially, right off the bat, have trades to go into right when the opening bell rings each and every day. Also, our research center, if you work a 9-to-5 job or you just trade the markets casually, you'll get all of our nightly setups, all of our cycle work, and we've had a pretty good year so far, Michael, so I think traders should come over.
I'll say you're up well over 140%. That's a darn good year.
Yeah, it's going to get better than this.
Yeah, it will. I know. All right. Thanks so much, Nick.
All right, Michael. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. All right, everybody, that was Nick. That guy has been with us. It's just amazing. Your eyes will roll back in your head when you watch these trades go off. All right, Nick Santiago, President and CEO in themoneystocks.com. Coming up.